It's the Extremist movie debate. And tonight we're talking 2017's The Darkest Hour. That's Aaron.
I am Aaron.
I'm Ethan. One of us is going to love it. One of us is going to hate it.
Let the coin decide their fate.
I love it.
And Aaron hates it. This
right.
movie currently holds an 86%. Hey guys, don't be Winston Churchill and say some things that people remember. Spoilers are ahead. I didn't see this movie.
You know who Winston Churchill is, right?
Yeah, he's the guy.
Cool.
Don't.
Great. He's the guy. Yep.
The fear in the eyes guy.
Yep,
right?
great.
That guy?
Yep.
He said that?
Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's him.
All right. This movie currently holds an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, which makes it certified fresh. Aaron, since you hate this movie, yeah, I remember this time. This first question comes to you. This comes from... Heads up, both of these came from translated reviews.
Great.
Which I didn't mean to do, but they were just the ones I was like, okay, this seems fun. This comes from Ernesto Diaz Martinez of Cine Vertigo, and this is in Spanish. Ernesto says, a good dad movie centered on the days of May 1940 when Winston Churchill became prime minister. So in my life, I've had a dad, and there have been certain dad movies I've had to watch. You know, there's your Top Guns, and you're A Few Good Men, and you're An Officer and a Gentleman. Where would you put this in the dad movie-esque, or is this more than a dad movie and like a great historical biopic? You have 1 minute.
I am actually glad that you asked me that question because I literally saw that movie with my dad. So I would say I would totally call it a dad movie because like you have to be from that generation to give a shit about like what's going on in that movie. I mean, it's okay. Okay, cool. Wait, yay! It's World War II. Like we don't already have 900 of those movies, and now we're just gonna watch Gary Oldman because Gary Oldman is amazing in great like makeup and costume, just prance around for 2 hours. So yeah, it's totally a dad movie because it's the kind of like dorky dad history stuff that none of the rest of us really care about under the age of 55. So yeah.
Aaron, I must say your points are always clear, concise, and to the point, and I appreciate that about you. Ethan, how about you ramble for 30 seconds?
I think it's very important to watch this movie because on a macro scale, because it's important to read history the same way it's important to watch this movie because you need to learn from mistakes and you need to understand the circumstances that brought us to the positions that we're in. And on a smaller scale, you need to learn from the mistakes and understand the positions that brought us to those different decisions that people made on a smaller scale. So we need to understand day by day what happened to Winston Churchill from, him becoming prime minister.
Thanks, Ethan. Aaron, you have 15 seconds to respond.
Yeah, great. That's exciting. So we basically have 2 hours of them trying to build tension with, oh no, are the Nazis going to win? Spoiler alert, they don't.
I don't know that. Ethan, not in America. Ethan, you have a final 15 to respond?
Look, I mean, we had a movie, this is basically the King's Speech 2, and the King's Speech was just, can this guy talk at the end of the movie? So at least in this one, it's can he get the people out of Dunkirk? Like, that's good to know.
Yeah, I watched Dunkirk. I already knew the ending of that too, so.
Yeah, me too. Both of those things.
Now I get to know what's leading up to it.
All right, Ethan, this next question comes to you. This comes from Pablo Vilaca of Cinema de Genia. It's Portuguese. He says, not even Oldman's brilliant performance can save the awful screenplay, and the scene in the subway is a perfect summation of the script's many flaws. So anyone who's seen this movie, remembers the subway scene. It's the most important focal scene of the movie.
When did it happen?
I don't want to talk. I'm not the one debating it here, but it's just so legendary in like modern biopics now. Like
what?
With the caliber of actor Gary Oldman is, and this guy even admits it, how do you think the subway scene should have been handled? And how do you think this overall as a screenplay was, You have 1 minute.
Look, I think the screenplay is fantastic because what it does is it humanizes Winston Churchill, and he was a man of the people, and I think that that's one of the most important aspects of him, is you can say whatever you want about his decisions, how he came to power, how he maintained power, but as he was, factually, he was very strong with the British people, and so it's important to have a scene where he's willing to go down into the public transportation system with the community and ask their thoughts, and that is essential to this movie succeeding, a movie about Winston Churchill, a movie about a man who had power over those people and was able to sway them one direction or another in a time of war and times of crisis. And so, yes, that is absolutely critical. It was handled well. It's important to see that he, remembers the names of these people later on, and it's important to see that he can incorporate that into his speech that then goes ahead and just sort of cements his power as the prime minister after just about a month of kind of flailing and everybody thinking less of him.
Thank you, and I felt the same way watching that.
I bet you did.
Scene. Aaron, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Yeah, that was some Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake, go play in the village, sappy bullshit is what that scene was. And no, he was not a man of the people. Like, no, it's literally a plot point that he's as old as he is and has never ridden a bus in his life. Like, he was totally an arrogant, bombastic dick. And you can argue that that was what was needed at the time and that he was very successful at what he did, in much the same way that you can make those arguments about Abraham Lincoln. But the idea that he was a man of the people, no, that's bullshit.
Thank you, Aaron. Ethan, you have 15 seconds to respond.
Pardon me, Aaron. I'm saying historically he was a man of the people, which means that there is an arc in this movie where he does start off as a snobby sort of British person who does not want to touch the lesser folk, the riffraff, but then he goes down into the bus with them, into the subway with them, and so that is him progressing through the story.
Thanks,
Thank you
Ethan.
very much.
I forgot to set a timer, so I'm just going to cut you off.
Right.
Aaron, you have a final 15 to respond?
Yeah, and just like the Grinch, he went down to the subway and his heart grew 3 sizes bigger. Fuck that.
Well, I don't think it did, because then he would have died. He didn't die. That didn't happen in history.
I mean, it might have.
Well, he did die. I mean, that happened in history.
Well, it is historical that Winston Churchill had like an elephant heart transplant, so his heart might have been 3 sizes too big. You guys have 4 minutes to discuss, and go.
Did you want to start?
Oh, I'm giggling at that.
The elephant heart?
Sorry,
No, I think that it's not really a debatable topic that he was a man of the people, and to see him go from this guy who's, bedridden and yelling at secretaries until they cry and just shuffling through them so rapidly day to day that he can actually then just settle down and understand that he is actually in charge of this country and he needs to listen to the people that he is in charge of. It's not just the king, it's not just the people in parliament, it is the people that are riding the public transportation system, it is the people that are walking the sidewalks of the street, and he needs to hear their voices and needs to hear what they have to say, and that is a lesson that does resonate today and will resonate for centuries to come.
No, I think that's ridiculous, and I think that not only is it ridiculous, I don't even care if it's true. Like when you talk about the truth being stranger than fiction, like I had a great fiction teacher in grad school who used to say that there are things that happen in reality that you couldn't write in fiction because somebody would call bullshit. And so it doesn't even matter if it actually happened; it's still a bullshit story. The guy who goes his entire life and treats everybody like crap, and even his own family when they're toasting him are like, "Hey, we knew you sacrificed to us for your career, but congratulations, you made it." Like the fact that he would go 50 or 60 years like that and then suddenly have like a change of heart, like Ebenezer Scrooge style, is like just obnoxious.
No.
And it's a terrible narrative.
It's because he all of a sudden realizes that he has a great responsibility on his shoulders, and with that great power comes a great responsibility. We understand that because we've seen Spider-Man 8,000 times. Mm-hmm. So we need to know that this man can change, and we need to know that other people can change. They may have a troubled past. They might have had a hard time as a celebrity in the public's eye. They might have had a hard time as a realtor in the public's eye, and we need to know that they can in fact change when they possibly have a little bit more on their shoulders. It's nice to see that once in a while.
Yeah, because power totally makes people better. Like that's kind of like alcohol.
I think it does in a
makes people more fun to be
responsible
around.
person. There are other people, like the people that he's fighting in this movie, that it does in fact do the opposite effect, and I get that, and I think that it's important to understand that we want to put the people in power that can actually have that change within themselves and can affect the change in other people instead of the people that actually take advantage of that position.
Yeah, see, and I think that the more interesting elements that go on there as far as his character goes is his political toughness and in his fact that he is cold and calculated, and where he immediately fills up his war counselor with his enemies, basically, and to have those perspectives. I think that's a way more compelling narrative than old guy who rides the subway and grows a heart.
Thank Christ that's in this movie, and most of this
thank
movie
God it is
spent in the underground war rooms.
Yeah.
We're talking about one 3-minute scene at the end of the movie.
That didn't need to be there and just ruined everything that came up to it.
The most tense part of this movie is just him staring at a red light bulb. I mean, for fuck's sake, this movie has a lot going for it. If we're just going to focus on one scene that you say is implausible and I say is hopeful, well, then we're going to be talking about a very smaller movie than
It has a lot going for it, and then right at the end, it puts it in the toilet and flushes it.
I fundamentally disagree.
All right, well, that's kind of the point of the show. I'm gonna cut you guys off there. How do you guys really feel about this film?
It seems pretty hokey. But,
This scene's terrible. Other than that, it's really good, though.
It's good. I have a really nitpicky thing that bugged the fuck out of me this entire movie is that all the extras in Parliament are terrible. They're
really bad.
Like high school play terrible.
Yeah.
Like they're just doing this.
They're
the whole fucking time.
Their
They're in
attempt to show
Parliament.
the rowdiness of Parliament was I was like, that's actually real Parliament is fun to watch when they get going like that. But yeah, you're right. It was totally.
It was so noticeable.
It was
so
overdone.
distracting.
It was totally hokey. Yeah.
So yeah, Joe Wright cannot direct extras. Otherwise, man, he can do the shit out of just two people in a dark room with a red light. Awesome.
And
Lily
that was
James.
great.
Everyone's talking about Gary Oldman. Yeah, he's gonna get the Oscar. He's great,
and he's fantastic.
Even though he sounds like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit this whole movie. Even though there's that, Lily James owns
incredible.
this movie.
Yes, she really does.
People
She's
need to talk
fantastic.
about that more.
Yeah, she's totally gonna fly under the radar for a number of reasons, which is really unfortunate because she was really one of my favorite parts of the movie. She's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yep.
This was her movie.
Absolutely.
But good job, Gary Oldman.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah, you deserve it too. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. It's solid.
I don't. I saw it in a sold-out theater, and it was all old people, and they all clapped at the end, and I just had this weird feeling inside, are they clapping because they saw Trump in him, or are they clapping because they didn't see Trump in him?
Yeah.
Because this was right after Huckabee's comments.
I have a huge issue with anyone who claps at the end of a movie.
I mean, I get it if you're clapping based on the merit, but it was at that time I saw it, it was not based on merit.
The only movie that warrants merit is T2, Terminator Judgment Day. That's the only film in history. I don't know. People love to clap at people clapped at the end of Star Wars, which fine, great, but
those are just fanboys.
And girls.
Sorry, let's not be sexist here. Let's not be racist against women, all right?
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, let's not be girl racist.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've seen, you guys both have some pretty muted reactions about this movie. So what would you guys rate it?
I would rate it maybe 7.5 or 8. I would say it's better than The Post.
We don't do halves.
Okay, you don't do halves. All right. Well, then I'm gonna have to go 8 because I think it's better than The Post, but it's a pretty soft 8.
I'll give it a 6. I don't think it's as technically well made as The Post. I think The Post has a hell of a lot more going for it, but story-wise, as far as does it linger, a tiny bit more than The Post.
Yes. Give it a little bit of thunder.
Tiny smidge of thunder.
Yeah, so I'm curious. The 8, was it the cinematography, just the overall story? Or?
Yeah, and I think I felt like I do agree that there were places that it was sloppily executed that The Post is not, and Spielberg is very technically savvy, and so his films are clean, and this one wasn't necessarily, but the emotional, again, like I said, the emotional and the tension, and you're talking about staring at the red light, and the fact that you do feel tension even though you know the outcome, we all know the Nazis didn't win, and you still feel like they could. And they did just a fantastic job of creating that atmosphere.
Yeah, that's the way I feel in America right now. We'll wrap up this show. Hey guys, I'll let Ethan take it.
Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe. You can send us an email, extremistmovie@gmail.com. We've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, emd.panspending.com, Twitter.
Artificialwoods.panspending.com.
Thanks to Mitch Davis, Mitch Davis Media, Justin Hines, Siberia.com, and thanks to everybody. Happy Oscar things.
Yeah, let's hope the good stuff wins. Get out.